already know what it is. Hey, I'm black and out here. That's what the issue is.
Yeah.
Movie, stop fucking cussing at me. She just hit me. Y'all just see that? I know. She just hit me.
There are countless cases of racist officers who forget they are being recorded, like when an officer repeatedly shouts slurs at an innocent black man, or when a cop punched an innocent black woman out of anger.
I know. She just hit me.
Ma'am.
In this video, we're going to be looking at interesting cases where these corrupt cops acted outrightly racist, forgetting that they were being recorded. There's a cop who got fined $100K and kicked out of the entire police department for being extremely racist. On May 27, 2020 in San Diego, a cop approached Amaurie Johnson for smoking in a non-smoking area. But here's the plot twist. Johnson wasn't smoking at all. He didn't have a lighter, cigarette, nor vapor on him. And even if he was in fact smoking, it doesn't justify the way he was treated by the cop.
Bro, what you grabbing me for, bro? I already told you just come here straight. You look goofy as hell, bro. Stop touching me, bro. Obviously, nobody's going nowhere. Hey, what I tell you? I told you I was waiting for somebody to come here. They right here, bro. Oh my God.
Here the officer claims Johnson smacked his hands through a moment not caught on his body cam. But it's clear from the footage Johnson had told the cops several times to treat him more gently and stop touching him.
You don't know what's going on?
I just got here, man.
This fool is in the wrong. He tried to come up on him like he's not doing shit. He's waiting for me to get back from the store, right? When I come back, instead of him just apologizing and being like, oh, you're right, I get it.
As a black guy that's facing this issue, it was nice having his white friend vouch for him. Even though he sounded a little bit aggressive, nothing his friend said was wrong. Johnson was simply waiting for his friend in the spot when he was approached by Dave's and wasn't exhibiting any suspicious behavior whatsoever, which makes us wonder the reason for all the accusations and unfair treatment. Now, pay close attention to discover the real reason Johnson was treated unfairly.
You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm frustrated. It's not a film. I'm sitting outside for no reason. You know what I'm saying? You really don't get it though. You don't get it.
I understand that you're frustrated.
I feel like I understand you're being empathetic. I appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? But you don't get it, bro. I already know what it is. Hey, I'm black and out here. That's what the issue is.
Yeah.
And there it is. The cop probably replied with humor, but the fact that he agreed to the statement and was comfortable joking about it reveals the real intent behind his behavior. Johnson was being really understanding with the officers, and you would probably think the cops would let everything go at this point. Well, you're wrong. Johnson was placed under arrest.
You're being placed under arrest for 241C, okay?
Yup.
All right.
What's the 241C?
Assault on a peace officer.
Assault on an officer. Hey, okay, bet. Hey, bro, you are a whole ass. Bro. Hey, call Jerry. Hey, Nick, call Jerry. You a straight bro.
Yeah,
hey,
except for you're the one that hit me.
Bro.
The officer keeps on claiming that Johnson was the one that hit him first with so much confidence, but it's pretty clear he's only using that as an excuse to defend his behavior.
I didn't hit you, bro. You started grabbing me, bro. I told you to stop touching me, bro. You know what I'm saying? Assault a police officer, you know it's on film, right? How far you think this gonna go? Hope you don't shoot me in this back of the car or some shit. Cause you guys are corrupt officers. You're for sure corrupt as cause I'm not supposed to be in the back of the car in the first.
After taking Johnson away to be charged, the cop also allegedly lied on his police report that he observed Johnson smoking and that Johnson took a fighting stance when he was approached. But Johnson wouldn't agree to this and decided to sue Davins, including the city of La Mesa, citing excessive force and wrongful arrest. La Mesa agreed to pay a sum of $125,000 to Johnson, but none of this money would come out of the officer's pocket. The officer was then instantly fired from the La Mesa Police Department just 2 years after he joined. What is a better way to be racist than yelling racist slurs at a suspect? And that's exactly what Tim Garcia, the officer in our next case, was caught doing.
Hey, here, look, this is a police, you. How do you like that? Police said it right back to you.
On July 14, 2018 in San Antonio, Texas, Dwayne Robinson was allegedly getting aggressive and confrontational with male patrons and threatening them. After Robinson was asked to leave, he complied, and he was already leaving when the guards kept on following him and started to get physical with him, which they ended up detaining him. He then asked them to alert the police to try and work everything out, but this would turn out to be a huge mistake, as the cop would turn out to be not just rude, but extremely vulgar and derogatory in his statements.
Y'all already told me what it was. I was like, I'm already walking off. So I tried to go back that way. I was like, I thought there was an exit, and they grabbed my bag. I said, look, man, don't grab my bag like that.
Here, it is obvious that cops are so eager to arrest Robinson when he's only asking questions for things he doesn't understand. But they have a decent reason to arrest him because Robinson refused to leave the property when asked and refused to hand over his ID. This led to Robinson's arrest, but none of these things are important right now.
Look, go ahead and let me go, bro. Look, go ahead and let me go, bro. Stop tensing up. Yes, it was.
You know what? Now you're under arrest.
But when Robinson is on the ground, cuffed and helpless, the cops started to become more blunt and abusive.
You say, look, give me your ID, so I was about to give it to you.
But you didn't. No. You took it back.
What do you mean, bro?
Hey, it's all on camera.
Fast, bro. I didn't do nothing.
Dude, look how old I am. You think I act back? I listened to all your stupid for like 5 minutes.
Look, bro, and I said, look, before I give y'all my ID.
The officer shows signs that he lacked proper training or is just a corrupt cop because what he had ought to have done in this situation was to reduce the tension and not escalate it with his derogatory remarks. What made everything worse was that when he started using slurs and acting extremely racist, blatantly and unfiltered.
You too. Hey, here, look, this is the police. This is the police. You. How do you like that? Police said it right back to you. Obviously I don't. On camera, I'll say it. Do I look like you? Well, I'm only 3.4% African.
What's wrong with it?
I'm 3.4.
Seems like the officer has been waiting all his life to say he was only 3.4% African. But after saying all that unapologetically, he made a huge mistake by saying that he's willing to say it on camera just to prove a point.
There you go. Say it right. Put an R at the end. If you're gonna say it, don't call me. I ain't.
Why am I doing this?
For being.
Look, y'all just trying to speak.
Oh man.
And just when you think he's done, he was just getting started. The verbal abuse should have been far more than enough, when the cop felt it was necessary to throw some physical abuse too, which was completely unwarranted.
What are you doing? Stop. I'm trying to take your shoes off. Just stop. What are you trying to take my shoes off?
Because I have to search you. All you gotta do is behave. Why can't you just behave, dude?
Dude, you keep tensing up, you keep getting it.
Robinson is being arrested for trespassing, not a drug charge or a serious crime involving weapon possession, so the officers have no right whatsoever to take his shoes off. At this point, it's pretty clear that the officers are just bullying him when you realize they didn't even end up searching his shoes, but forced him to walk on a hot pavement in July afternoon barefoot. Robinson was brought back to jail on charges of trespassing and resisting, but it's what happened to the officers after the event that made this case so interesting.
Police Chief William McManus, who said there is no place in his department for an officer that he fired. Lee Beeger directed a racist and sexist tirade at a funeral home director.
An investigation was launched into Garcia, and Garcia's sergeant wrote that he thought a written statement would be an appropriate punishment. According to him, Garcia didn't use the words in a racist manner or directed at anyone. He simply repeated the word back to Robinson. 2 lieutenants also reviewed the incident and they concurred with recommendation of a letter reprimand. This gives us a clear window into the corrupt insides of a police department. Thankfully though, the deputy chief saw the footage and believed that the banter, escalation, and use of profanity was extremely unprofessional, and forwarded the incident to Internal Affairs for a formal investigation. Eventually, the video made its way to the San Antonio police chief, who recommended an indefinite suspension for Garcia. He said it was by no means reprimandable conduct and the whole thing was as wrong as it can be. In a last-ditch effort to defend himself, Garcia topped all his actions with a final derogatory and insulting statement, claiming that all he did was use a similar language as a means of communicating his point, repeating his language back in order to speak a vernacular that he would understand.
And I didn't run around calling anyone a or a Mexican because of it.
In January 2019, Garcia was suspended from his role with the San Antonio Police Department indefinitely. There's no better examples of racism than punching an innocent person for no just reason. Ashlin Puff punched a black woman in the face, and her entire police department was just as corrupt as her, and they were all clearly caught on camera.
Cussing at me. She just hit me. Y'all just see that? Anna, she just hit me. Anna, she just hit me.
Ma'am,
You see that?
On July 31st of 2022 in Toledo, Ohio, the Toledo Police Department were dispatched to a house party in Toledo.
Who's the owner I can talk to? Who lives here?
This ain't got nothing to do with us.
I'm asking who lives here. You do?
Yeah.
All right, arrest him, and them two.
It doesn't really seem like the guests in the house were causing any disturbance, and nor were they violent or rowdy whatsoever, so when the cops came in to arrest them, it raised a lot of alarm bells.
Don't, stay back, don't, stay back. Failure to disperse, failure to disperse.
The The cops tell him that they're going to get charges of failure to disperse, but what they forgot is that in the state of Ohio, this charge can only be given when the suspect's presence creates a high likelihood of physical harm or public inconvenience. It's either the cops don't know of the law, or he's clearly just looking for a way to get the guests in the cuffs.
I'm asking who lives here. You do? Yeah. All right, arrest him, and them too.
The cop simply asked who lived there and proceeded to arrest them. He never asked anyone to go inside the house, so he's just lying here. It should also be noted that if his call was for public disturbance, the commotion has increased dramatically since the police arrived, and it almost seems like they're the ones that caused it. And if you think that the cops would just leave everything and stop there, you're wrong. Just like the previous case, cops always make foolish moves. The officer then randomly decides to take out his weapon to threaten the residents. These snarky remarks from the cops are frankly terrifying as is.
Guys, let's go!
Time to move! Let's go!
Who else wants to go to jail because you're about to go? Go! Go!
Here, the cop explicitly admitted he'd open fire on everyone here if he had the opportunity. This is frankly terrifying that a cop is making such a nasty remark.
Go! Go! Why don't you listen and just go home? I don't have patience. People go to jail when I'm around. You know, before there was body cameras, I wonder how many sergeants would just light this thing up. Empty.
It is clear that these cops are so drunk on power, but our very own Ashlin Puff is also on the screen doing something unjust and being very violent.
You're not walking back up to that house. Turn back around. I don't care. No. Go.
In the middle of the rowdiness and high tension, we're about to see something interesting. O'Shea Jones, a professional female boxer. An Olympic-level athlete who should be respected and admired for her talents, but instead, she was just assaulted, plain and simple. There's no way to justify this attack. O'Shea was surrounded by officers and restricted, but Ashlin still punched her for no reason other than anger and hatred.
She just hit me. Y'all just see that? Anna! She just hit me. Anna! She just hit me. Bam,
Ashlin's biggest mistake was failing to consider the fact that every cop there was equipped with a body cam, and she was in plain view of all of them. Would that get her in trouble? Well, in a tragic twist of fate, prosecutors found this use of force to be justified. They posited that O'Shea was resisting arrest and the punch was a compliance technique. Instead, she was verbally reprimanded for her use of profanity in the incident but received no criminal charges. Ashlin Puff is well known for using excessive force on people of color, as it's something she does regularly, but she and her department have gone unpunished up until this point. This was an interesting yet disappointing case. Maybe not all cops get punished for their injustice. But that's going to be it for today. Thanks for watching.